The southwest area of China's border, the Himalayas, separate China from Nepal. In the northwest area of China is the Tian Shan Mountains, right here. The Kunlun Mountains are located in the western region. The Kunlun Mountains separate North and South China.
The Yellow River goes through North China and exits out in the Bohai Sea. Two of China's deserts, the Gobi and the Taklamakan Desert, are located in China's northern area. Only 15% of China's land is arable, mainly along this area. That leaves the rest of the two-thirds of it being deserts.
The land in China is vast, spanning many degrees latitude. The northwest desert summers are hot and dry, while the winters are bitterly cold. The northeast is cold and dry, but it has enough moisture to grow wheat for farming.
In southern China, the climate is hot and humid, which helps the farmers grow rice. In the summer, monsoons come from the south, bringing heavy rainfall, while in the winter, monsoons come from the north and bring cold, dry air.
China has 1/8 of the world's plant life. There is also 27,150 species of plant life.
Coniferous forests are over vast areas in temperate, subtropical, and tropical mountains regions. Broadleaf forests are found in humid, warmer areas, subtropical, tropical, and humid, warm temperate regions, and they are located along rivers and arid regions in northwest China.
The GDP per capita is $6,188.99. The literacy rate is 91.6%. The life expectancy is 74.68 years. The HDI China is ranked 91st with a 0.719 as their Human Development Index. China is a more developed country because the GDP per capita is $6,188. That means they have better paying jobs and get paid more than other countries. The literacy rate of China is very high, which means they have a really good education and a lot of schools. The life expectancy is normal, so their health care is very good.
China has a population of 1,401,000. China has had many dynasties throughout their ages. The first being the Shang dynasty that ruled from 1766 to 1122 BC. It is the first dynasty with written evidence of their rule. They were part of they had the Shang religion, in which the emperor was the high priest and was able to communicate to their ancestors and the gods. The Zhou dynasty ruled from 1050 BC to 256 BC, and they founded Confucianism and Taoism during that time. One of the last major dynasties was the Han dynasty that founded the Silk Road, which became a major part of trade in ancient China.
The president today is Xi Jinping. The founder of the Communist Party was Mao Zedong. They are a communist party, which means the government has a lot of control, and the vice president is basically ceremonial. And only from Hu Jintao to Xi Jinping, China's main decision makers, is they're in total control. Some of the major cultures in China are the Chinese foods. Spring rolls are one of those foods. Spring rolls contain of any vegetable meat and any meat. They could be found all over China. A dessert is a sticky cake. It is China's most famous cake, and the main ingredients is glutinous rice flour. An appetizer is egg rolls. The meat they use to make these is pork. They are made by browning the pork in a pan with garlic. A drink is the Tianyan tea. This is China's most popular tea, tasting somewhat between green and black tea. It is yellow in color. It is a fresh floral aroma smell and a fruity berry-like sweetness. The tea leaves a honey aftertaste. Some other part of their culture are customs. There are 56 different types of different ethnic minority groups, each with their own customs. A major custom for most groups is the dragon dance. People do the dragon dance to celebrate holidays and special occasions such as New Year's. Chinese women bound their feet. There was to attempt to emulate a smaller foot. The Chinese believed in a zodiac. Their animals are represented. The year change from year to year. The order is rat, ox, tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake, horse, sheep, monkey, rooster, dog, pig. They believed that certain traits were present in a child that was born under that year.
For leisure, China is interested in sports such as ping pong, curling, and cycling. They also do a game called mahjong and karaoke. China cannot have a religion due to the communist government. However, they do have philosophies such as Confucianism, which focuses on morality, interpersonal ethics, civility, and contribution to a harmonious society. Another is Taoism, or Taoism, which is to understand the way. Some of its philosophies are politics, internal cultivation, the natural world, and matter and energy. Mohism is about individual piety and submission to the will of heaven. It contrasts to Confucianism, which was about relationships between people, while Mohism is about your piety to yourself. Another thing is legalism, which is the rule by law and sacrifice for the good of human beings. Some communist philosophies are Marxism, which was founded by Karl Marx and incorporated multiple philosophies. Its basis was classes, ideals, and a communist society. Stalinism, which was an economy, focused on the extensive use of propaganda and more likely refers to the government rather than the idea. In China, scientists are testing fertilized embryos of humans. This brings up questions about, is this ethical, testing human embryos, and could this be the beginning of designer babies? However, these scientists were not trying to change the appearance of the children, and were instead trying to change whether or not a disease would show in the embryos. However, the tests were not successful due to very few of the embryos actually having a positive outcome, and most of the embryos either not being affected or they showed a worse mutation. So, changing an embryo in the womb will more than likely be a long way off in the future.